Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Today we have a special live stream. I haven't done one of these early in the morning in a while. So yeah, man, what's really good. Hope you guys are doing great. Some of you guys gonna be at work, some of you guys gonna be somewhere in Asia, probably just getting from work. You're getting home, right? Some of you guys is gonna be in Europe, probably about to leave work. And yeah, man, we here. We live. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Shout out to my boy Donovan, first one in the live chat. Stanislav, S. Reed, Angel Medina, Xavier Wharton. What up, bro? How you guys doing, man? Listen, man, we trying to do a Q&A, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's talk about here live, okay? We got Kelvin Davis. What up, Kelvin? Kelvin in the West Coast, representing for that West Side. And you already know for the Busters. You know what I mean? Whoop de whoop this, whoop de whoop that. Shout out to my dudes in Compton. You know what I mean? Don't get me hyped, Kelvin. You know what I mean? So as I see my boy Kelvin, I get hyped, man. Feel like I'm back in the swap meet real quick. You know what I mean? Shout out to Otto. Shout out to Code Caffeine. What up? Dark Classic Gamer. I'm driving to Washington right now. Washington State or Washington, D.C.? Donovan's like, I'm on break right now. Michelle Williams, what up, ma? How's everything? Xavier's like, yo, Compton born and raised. Yeah, I need to touch down in LA, man. I miss LA. I haven't been there in a long time, bro. Okay, any questions you guys want to get into it? Let's go. Desi says, how do visual learners get out of tutorial heaven? How do you get out of tutorial heaven if you're a visual learner? Well, my advice would be challenge yourself. Find something that you use all the time, right? It could be an application, it could be a mobile application, could be a web application, could be some type of software, and try to recreate it. Okay? Everything that you could think of could be done on the web nowadays. So my advice is whatever you already use and you already know how it functions, how it works, what are the features that you use from it, right? So for example, if you use something like Instagram, right, all the time, well, you know how that works, right? You could recreate that. You have user authentication, so the user registers or is able to log in with something like Google or Facebook login, right? You have that feature. You could go ahead and say, hey, what's the next feature of Facebook? Not Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, you could also send direct messages. How can you create that feature to send direct messages between users? Another feature is to upload photos or upload videos. How can you also integrate that, right? Set up a database to keep track of all of the videos that people upload. Also, two, set everything in chronological order from the newest thing to the oldest, right? As you scroll, you could even do something with JavaScript where you could have infinite load, right? Or infinite scroll, where as you scroll, it start loading up posts from people that they follow, right? So you could add those little things, right? And you could create an application like that from the ground up, and that would challenge you to actually get out of tutorial heaven, because most tutorials are not going to teach you that, right? Most tutorials are not going to teach you all of those different features and all of those different skills that it takes to create those features. So by you challenging yourself and recreating something that you use every day and you understand how it works, then it just challenges you to actually use your brain and put that knowledge that you have learned in either my courses or anybody else's courses, to really put things together and say, okay, how can I solve the problem that I have in front of me? Okay, I want to create user authentication. How can I create that? How can I do that? Right? How can I create a upload feature? How can I create a messaging feature? You get what I'm saying? Most courses, what they're gonna do is they're gonna teach you the basics. They're gonna teach you the syntax of things, but they're not gonna teach you like real world things that you're gonna have to create. Most of the courses, they're only teaching you just the syntax, the basics. So it's on you to really go and challenge yourself and basically learn how to use those skills that you already learned to be able to build what you have to build. Okay, so I always bring it down to the real world. So let's say, for example, it's like somebody who's trying to learn how to build a house, right? You could go and take a course and they'll teach you in that course, hey, how to use a screwdriver, how to use a saw, how to use a hammer, right? But they won't teach you how to build a modern home, or they won't teach you how to build a tiny home. You have the skills already, you already been practicing, but now it's for you to challenge yourself and say, okay, how can I build this type of home and do it on my own? So that's how you get out of tutorial heaven. Okay, let me see. Another question. Let's get into it. We got a lot of questions today. Let's get into it. I'm going to answer every single one. Okay. Let me see. Good morning. Good morning. Just get a job. Just get a job. I'm learning so much after getting a job. So you just got a job, Dev Roy. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations. You made it happen. You know, I've seen you here for a while and now you're working. So congrats, man. Devereaux said, though getting paid very little. Hey, look, man, use me as an example, bro. You know, and I don't want to be that guy that always brings it to him, but I'll bring it to myself because I feel like I'm the perfect example for you guys to learn from and to see the progression. My first job was at $13 an hour, and it wasn't really like a web developer or software engineer position. It was more of content editor, product editor, where I got to use my web development skills like HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript. But by me having that job, that opened doors for me to get into everything that I'm in right now, which is, you know, web development, you know, working for companies. Like, it just opens doors. Okay, there's a lot of people that they stay at home, they're waiting for a dream job, and that dream job doesn't come because this industry a lot of times comes with, you know, you either need a degree to show that you have been doing this for years, or you have gotten the fundamentals for years, or you need to have experience. So if you don't have experience, then you don't get a job, and then you're just waiting for the dream job. And it's like, bro, the dream jobs are only being offered to people who have really high, high level degrees, or guys who really have at least 2-3 years of experience. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like a infinite loop of like, you're gonna be at home until you get one of those things. So my advice is, if you already got a job, even though they might be paying you little, this is where you're gonna learn so much, and it's gonna prepare you to get that dream job that you really want. You know, and it could come as soon as, 3 months, 6 months from now. But again, it's gonna happen once you have that experience or have some type of backing, something that, have a stamp on your resume and says, hey, I was able to use my programming skills in this company or this role, right? It doesn't matter if it really says software engineer, web developer, front end developer, back end developer, full stack developer. Those things don't matter. If you're able to use those skills and you can demonstrate on your next interview, like, hey, this is what I brought to that company, you're gonna get the job that you really want. But it's a process. Remember, we're self-taught developers. We're teaching ourselves at home. We're also, coming in where we're learning all of these things on our own. And, a company needs to know that somebody has already trusted you with their code base, instead of just like, hey, I'm just gonna get a job just because that's not how the real world works. You get what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. How do you feel about drop shipping private label using Shopify? The problem with that is, like I always tell people, if you don't have money for it, you're not going to be successful. Okay? It takes money to get into drop shipping. It takes money to get into almost any type of business. Okay? One of the main reasons why I focus so much on talking about programming and, learning how to code and getting a job is because if you're like me you don't have a backing. I don't have an uncle. I don't have a mom that I could call up and say, hey, could you lend me $50,000 because I need to buy XYZ amount of products, and then I want to sell, on Facebook, and I need another $10,000 to be able to do advertisement. The average person doesn't have that type of money. You get what I'm saying? The average person doesn't even have $5,000 in their freaking bank account. Okay, that's just how it is. All right, so for you to jump into drop shipping, you have to understand, like, it's a money game. You know what I mean? Like, it's a numbers game and a money game. Like, if you don't got the money to really go through the initial stages of figuring out what's a good product, figuring out what's the best way to promote your product, best platforms, like, you're gonna lose money just like in any business. It's like somebody who wants to open up a restaurant. If somebody opens up a restaurant and they think they're gonna be packed house from day one, they're lying to themselves. It takes up to 6 months to a year for a business to even become known, people to even start walking inside of that business. So it's just like that in real life with drop shipping. Okay, so my advice is, if you have the capital for it, shit, get into it. Same thing as like real estate. If you got the capital for it, get into it. But how do you get the capital if you don't have it? To me, programming, getting a job, that's the best way, because if you go in and you say, okay, I'm gonna work for $30,000-$40,000 at a bullshit, a job nearby, right? It's gonna be almost impossible for you to get to that point where you have enough capital to get into drop shipping. But if you get into programming, you say, okay, I'm gonna work this whole year, and maybe a year and a half from now I could get into drop shipping. I already have 30, 40, $50,000 saved for, to invest into myself and start doing drop shipping. Then yeah, shit, go for it. But again, you have to get to the capital first. What's the capital? You got to get to the cash first. You're not gonna do anything by just, it's like, I see a lot of people online, like on YouTube, they'll sell people a dream and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna teach you how to sell, this mug, this wolf mug, for, you buy it for $2, and I'm gonna show you how to sell it for $12, so you make $10 on every sale. Yeah, but what they don't talk to you about is that, number one, if you gotta buy 500 of those mugs at $2 a piece, how much is that? That's $1,000. A person might not have $1,000. Then they don't tell you that you have to go in and pay for advertisement, which might be about $3,000. Okay, and then just to sell enough mugs to cover everything. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a money's game. Like, it's easy to go in and sell you a dream and tell you, hey guys, buy my $1,000 course, and I'm gonna make sure that you become a millionaire. That's not real, bro. You need money. You need money to get to that point. Like, that's what people don't even talk about. So it's like, how you gonna get money? You're not gonna rob somebody. You're not gonna sell drugs. So what's the easiest thing that you could do that's legal? Becoming a developer while you're still getting your money up. Lee Vision, are you going to enable Apple Pay for your courses, Joe? I'll see. The problem with Apple Pay is that, and the way how Teachable does things, is that I already have a system set up with my Stripe account. So how they have it set up is not connected to my Stripe account. I will have to go in and set up for basically set it up through Teachable's payment gateway, meaning that they control the money that's coming in, meaning that their own Stripe account gets access to the money that comes in, and then from there they charge me a fee on top of what the Stripe account fees is, and then they give me my bread. That you lose money like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna pay them for something that I already have. It doesn't have Apple Pay, but the majority of people do not use Apple Pay. You know what I'm saying? And what I am looking for is like another company to get like payments from India, because I know a lot of people from India don't have credit cards and things like that. So you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm interested. Apple Pay, Android Pay, that's not gonna do anything for me except just give me an extra bill, and it's not gonna get more sales at all. Let me see. Guys, don't be shy. Da da da. Gustavo Madrid. I'm at the same spot as you, Roy. Third week, my first job, coding React, getting paid very little, but then worth it. Yeah, it's a starting point, guys. You know, you have to understand. People got to start somewhere. How many guys right now don't even have a job, don't have any income coming in, don't have anything that they could say, hey man, I'm building up experience, I'm getting paid something. Like, there's so many people right now just sitting on their ass right now at home and not even working. They're not doing anything that has to do with programming. Okay, so at the end of the day, your journey already started. There's so many people that are not even started yet. They're still just like, it's like they're dreaming of becoming developers, but they haven't even touched it yet. You guys are already touching it. It's just a process. You gotta start somewhere. You can't expect to say, hey man, I'm trying to get into sales, and my first sale is gonna be a product that's gonna be $1 million. Nah, your first sale is gonna be something that maybe costs $2. It's the same thing as a developer. Your first job might be just $100 gig that you did on Craigslist. Your first job might pay you $14, $15 an hour just starting. You're doing that for a few months, and then you apply to another job, and now you're getting paid $30 an hour, double the amount that you was making in your first 3 months. But you wouldn't get that job for $30 an hour and up if you didn't have no experience. You get what I'm saying? So it's like an infinite loop. Or do you want to stay inside the infinite loop? It's like, hey man, get a job, right? It was like, while while job is while job is false, right? Continue looping this thing. Once job is equal to true, then you get to upgrade and get other opportunities. You know what I mean? You go have to do it like that, or you're gonna be in that infinite loop of just staying your ass at home. You know. Let me see. Hello Cutie says, I have the program. You don't pay for products, only advertising. Uh, Let me see. I don't know what you're talking. 84 Music says, I have uncles that ask me for money. Shaking my head. Well, if you're Dominican, that's how it is, bro. I got people that hit me up all the time from DR, like, hey, Joe, mándame 50 pesos, el motor, se me quedó el motor, que esto y el otro. Like, oh, my motorcycle's messed up, could you send me a little something? Hey, Joe, could you send me some money because I fell off the motorcycle, now I broke my leg. Like that. Yo, this is no lie, right? One of my cousins hits me up asking me for $100 to fix his motorcycle, right? And, supposedly he's gonna be motoconcho. Motoconcho is like a Uber, Dominican Uber on a motorcycle, right? And he goes, fixes his bike, gets it done. Once he comes back 2 weeks later, he's like, Joe, I fell off the bike. Now I need $300 so I could fix my leg. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's always gonna be a problem, even though you're trying to solve something. It always comes up with another problem. That's how family members are. The same thing. I got things with my dad and things with my mom. Like, like I'm always sending some bread, bro. Like, I don't want to send no money to nobody. But that's how it is. But I'm just starting to cut off everybody. I'm cutting off everybody except my inner family, meaning my wife, my kids, and that's it. I'm not giving no bread to nobody. I'm not helping nobody out. I got my own freaking problems that I gotta deal with. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. And when you have problems, you don't have nobody to call because everybody broke. It's like, hey guys, do a GoFundMe for me now. Like, hey guys, like my house got flooded and now I gotta spend like $12,000 to get everything fixed. Do a GoFundMe for me. Will you think that anybody's gonna go in there and put $5, $12, $20? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna work out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you could be here for 3 years waiting on that GoFundMe to reach to 12,000. Like, nah, bro. Let me see. Gustavo Madrid, that's the best. In 6 months, you will have so much knowledge, it will be easy to get better deal. Good luck. Yep. Same for you, says Def Roy. Joe, when are you releasing WordPress career bundle? We're coming out with that pretty soon. It's just I want to go back into like the initial courses, the HTML, CSS, the React courses, the JavaScript courses. I'm gonna redo a lot of those courses, get them to to now to level of like of the equipment that I have, the type of editing that I have. Like a lot of those courses that are in the beginning, I made them where I didn't even know how to properly record the audio or little things like that. Like they're good courses, but at the same time, it's like now we have more equipment, more better things. So I want to give those people that are coming into codingphase.com a better experience. So most of the courses, I don't think I'm gonna do another course that's gonna take a long time. Like as you guys can see, the Shopify course, like it's an amazing course, but it's taking like 3 4 months. I mean, I started in August. We're what in November, about to be in December, and we're just finishing it up. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a course that it's a real deep course that takes a lot of time and planning and building it and recording and editing. Um, and how many people here? We got 70 people in here. How many of you guys have even touched that course? The majority of you guys haven't even got in there. You know what I mean? Like some people they took the courses from Shopify, but even though it's like the best thing that you guys could do, like let's be honest, some of you guys don't even understand the problems and the things that you're gonna be able to learn from that course. Some of you guys think like, oh, this is what Shopify developer, like are there jobs for this or this and that. Like most of you guys are not even taking the course because y'all don't understand the process of it. Y'all don't understand the benefits that you're gonna get. But if you're gonna become a full stack developer, like, bro, everything is in there in that course. That's a full stack course, bro. We're talking about React, GraphQL, MySQL, Shopify APIs, setting up a web server, deploying, putting it for production, putting it to auto scale. Like, it's so much stuff in there. Like, that's a real course. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people on YouTube that sell CSS courses for like $50, $100. I'm looking around, I'm like, bro, who's paying for this shit? Like, like a CSS course is like super introductory, type work. I'm over here creating like something like that's real legit, that's gonna get you money, and at the same time, is gonna get you a job. And most people are not even taking it. They don't understand the benefits of it. So I might not even do that no more. Like I was thinking about doing a Salesforce course, but I don't even know if I like a Salesforce course. Salesforce is even bigger than than something like um Shopify. And to be honest, if I do make a Salesforce course, I'm not even gonna promote it here on this channel, because I don't think that this is the audience for it. Like I'm noticing, even with the Shopify, it's like I talked to you guys about all the benefits. You see me, I'm switching my business to it. But at the same time, it's like the majority of you guys, y'all don't understand the benefits of it. So it's like me putting in all that work and me selling it in a yearly subscription and all of those things, you know, like is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? Because there's not that many people that's gonna take the course. You guys might not understand the benefits of it, or how you're gonna get paid, like how you're gonna get a job with it. Like people don't really see that, because at the same time it's like, how can I say this? It's like I'm everything that I tell you guys is for your own benefit, right? But I'm one guy, right? So when I tell you something, some of you guys might understand it and captivate it and say, okay, Joe's telling me because there's money in this, there's opportunities in this, there's this, and that. But then you go to every other YouTuber who is trying to sell you a simple bullshit course, and you're like, but why is Joe telling me about this and he's the only one talking about this, but everybody else is talking about some other stuff, right? And then the majority of you guys, y'all go listen to everybody else instead of listening to what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it is. It's like simple math. When people go in and be like, well, what is this really the way to go? Is like, and it's like, bro, it's the way to go. But if you don't understand YouTube and how people promote their things. Is like they're not promoting the shit that's good for you. They're promoting the shit that's gonna be simple for them to create to sell to you. You know what I'm saying? So, if I go and create a Salesforce course, to be honest, if I do all that work, which might take like another 3 4 months, I'm gonna sell it at $1,000, bro. And it's not. I'm not gonna sell it to you guys. I'm gonna sell it to guys. Like I'm probably gonna buy a domain like Salesforce Developer.com or something like that. Maybe one of those type of domains or Salesforce, SalesforceTraining.com, something like that. Put it on a separate website so when people are googling that, there's usually guys who work for companies that use Salesforce, see that what and they'll see the benefit of it and they'll buy it. Like it's the HTML email developer situation too. How many of you guys in here are really taking advantage of that, right? So I'll come in here, I'll tell you guys, this is the way to go. This is how you're gonna get into the industry quick. But who else is talking about HTML emails? Like not that many people. So you might go in and say, is Joe really telling me the truth or this and that? Like, so then now what I do is I have HTML email developer.com. People find that website that know about it. Like if somebody gets hired at a company or they're looking for jobs in their area and see, oh, HTML emails, and they search on Google HTML email developer, right? They already have an incentive to learn that, right? So people will go in and take the course, right? But I feel like a lot of times people here in the community don't take the courses that they're supposed to, or don't even make the effort to take the courses that they're supposed to because they just don't know, right? So going back to like Salesforce, if I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna create the course, but I'm gonna put it for a different audience, like the professionals. I might promote it on LinkedIn or something like that. People that know what's the value behind it, and because it's not things that's trending. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be things that's gonna be trending. It's not gonna be things like that. Like the guys that know, they know. Like when they come here, they know. Like yo, Joe's not bullshitting. Everything that Joe's telling you is the truth. But at the same time, like the average user, the average viewer, do they really understand like what I'm telling them is where the money is at? Like most likely not. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I tell you guys with Shopify too, like most people are trying to get a job, but don't understand that if you just go in and try to get a job without having the knowledge of like an industry, like let's say for example, you want to get into a job, you say I want to become a front end developer, but if you have no knowledge of e-commerce, do you think you're gonna get a job at a company that sells products? Most likely not, because those companies, they're looking for somebody that understand the process of e-commerce, of selling products, of doing marketing, right? Tagging people with Facebook pixels, tagging people with Google tags, using Google Analytics. The Google Analytics course is the least watched course in all of CodingPhase.com, and people don't understand that having that on your portfolio and having that on your resume puts you above everybody else, because everybody else, all they know how to do is just code the same shit that you know. But when you're able to have skills that are geared towards a specific industries, it's so much better. So that's the thing with me. Like now, I don't know if I'm gonna go in and be creating, you know, like courses that's gonna take like 3 months. Nah, I'm just gonna focus on the simple things that people care about, which is just hey, front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the basic things, and maybe once a year I'll go in and spend 3 4 months creating one course. That's gonna take a long time. Is it real landing a U.S. contract working remotely from Europe? Yeah, it could happen. It could definitely happen. You just gotta have the right skills, right? You gotta have the right skills that is in demand for remote work. You know, one of the things that I always tell people to learn is PHP Laravel. I know for sure that a lot of companies hire developers offshore from here in that community. Same thing as the Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails, you could be an expert or you could be somebody that's really knowledgeable in Zimbabwe, and you're still gonna get hired here in the U.S. because it's a skill that not everybody knows. Not everybody knows Ruby on Rails. Not everybody is focused on that. Not everybody knows PHP Laravel. And what happens is that companies go in and say, "Hey, we could hire a guy in Zimbabwe that knows his shit and can really be productive." So they don't care. But if you're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn front end development," anybody could do front end development here in the U.S. That's like a average skill. That's like front end development. It just means you know the basics of the front end. That's it. But for you to get a remote job in the US, you gotta focus on things that's like specialized skills, things that not everybody else does or not everybody else has. Uh, Daniel Ho, why you stopped the fresh blog? We haven't stopped it. We transferring over to the new website. With the coding phase challenge, why don't you give away lifetime or a yearly membership for the winner? Um, why? Because that shit costs bread. It costs money, bro. All these things, even though it's not something that we could say we could put a value to it, but all this work that I do at codingphase.com, I can't just give it out lifetime membership just because. I'd rather give you a MacBook Pro than me give you a lifetime. You know why? Because MacBook Pro could be, let's say, for example, I don't know, $1,300, right? $1,300, but a lifetime membership could be worth way more than that, because when I go in and I start creating courses or creating things that I see value in it, I see that you know could be very valuable for you to learn, because everything that I teach you is from my experience of everything that I've seen and everything that I do and everything that I have success with. So if I go in and let's say, for example, a year from now, I go in and create the next Shopify course, right? The next Shopify course, which is, it could be something like how to scale your Shopify applications to $50,000 a month. For me to create that course, I had to go invest time, invest money into uh, creating these applications and building them and scaling them and promoting them and doing all this stuff. So I'm really teaching you from the experience in my investment. So that could be worth way more than $1,300. You get what I'm saying? So if I give you a lifetime, you're really getting, you know, whatever, whatever my life is worth when it really comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. Like I'd rather give somebody $1,300, like here, it's $1,300 for a MacBook Pro, than me give a lifetime, because it just, the lifetime is more valuable. The people that know, they'll realize. Like there's people that came in 2017 and bought a lifetime. I think for like when I first had that first special, maybe like for $150 or something. They've made their money back like 3 times, 4 times already. You know what I mean? And they've learned so much with that lifetime, and they've gotten access to so many courses that by now it's way, 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 way more valuable than $150. You get what I'm saying? It's like somebody coming in and tell you, hey, what would you rather give somebody? Uh, $1,300 in cash or $1,300 in gold? If you have the gold on you, you rather give them the cash than you giving the gold. You know what I'm saying? Because the gold is gonna continue going up on prices. Let me see. No frameworks or database projects. I don't know what Justin's talking about. Joe Cordero, I have a portfolio site completed, hosted with custom domain, but I only have two projects using vanilla JavaScript, Ajax with third-party API integration. Do you think that's enough to get hired? It depends. I gotta see the projects, bro, because you could be connecting to the weather API and the project might look like shit, right? Like you're not gonna get a job with that, right? So I have to look at the project for me to be able to tell you. in an accurate way. Let me see. India usually sends curry as payment. Yo, people stupid. Uh, that's what FB said. I'm just reading through this thing. I'm like, he got me to read that stupid shit. Yo, Lee Vision, you don't worry about Apple Pay, then it's all good. Da da da. Yeah. Hey, Donovan says, hey Joe, what's your thoughts on becoming a coding tutor and charging hourly on Fiverr? Yeah, that could be something that you could work out. There's multiple ways of making income. You could do tutoring, you could create courses, you could go create a YouTube channel, you can go ahead, create themes, sell them online, you could create templates, sell them online. You could do freelancing, create projects for people for a set amount of price, right? There's a million ways of making income, and that's one of them. So if you want to go and tutor somebody, definitely go for it, you know. Um, but yeah, Hello Cutie says, I love when you speak Spanish. Hey, ¿qué lo que? Tú sabes que lo que más? Andamos aquí, da da da. Yeah, when we talk Spanish, we get into it. Yep, I sent people money in DR a couple of times, but not everyone who asked. Wesley Tejada says, Joe, what do you think about Kazi's course? Man, I don't want to talk about that dude, man. God bless him. If people, I don't know, man. I don't want to talk bad about nobody. I'm on a positive stage in my life right now, but I just think like if I don't know, bro. Like this is my rule. I think I'm gonna make a video about this on YouTube. Like I think if this is the thing, there's a lot of YouTubers, there's a lot of new people that's gonna be popping up, and I'm seeing it now, and you guys have seen it. There's a lot of people that's showing up on YouTube, but are they here for the right reasons, or are they here just to milk people and get their bread? Okay, and that's something that you gotta ask yourself, like who's real, who's not, who has actually worked as a developer, who has actually done something, because that's the thing, like you can learn how to code from anywhere, but what you're really paying for is for the experience that somebody might give you and help you skip some steps. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If I'm gonna take a course from a guy that does real estate, I want to know that that guy has actually, being a real estate investor or a real estate agent, and he has actually sold properties, and he has actually had success in it, right? I'm not just gonna buy a real estate course from a guy that says, "Hey, I could teach you real estate." It's like that's not what you do. You don't have a track record of success in that. And I'm seeing a lot of people that's just popping up on YouTube. They'll do a little video here and there. They become viral. The YouTube algorithm loves them, etc. They'll pay for freaking, advertisement in India, get their views up, and then from there people come in and be like, oh, this person got 500,000 subscribers. Maybe I'll listen to them. But you got to do your own research. You got to understand, not everybody that you see has actually done this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I've seen people that come in and create courses like, hey, I could teach you how to get into Google. You've never worked at Google. How are you teaching people how to get into Google when you've never worked at Google? You know what I mean? Like, that's why if I'm going to buy a course or I'm going to sign up to a service, I'm going to sign up to maybe Clement's service, right? So Clement, if you guys don't know who that is, Google it. Clement, he has actually gotten into Facebook, gotten into Google. He has passed the interviews, right? So he has a service where I think it was an algoexpert.io, where he teaches people how to pass the interviews. That's all he does. He don't teach you how to code. He don't teach you anything. He teach you how to pass the interviews. That's it. So if I'm gonna go and buy a course or sign up for a service and I want to go to Google, I'm gonna go to the guy that has actually worked and has done, the thing that I want to get to. It's like, it's like myself here on CodingPhase. Like, if you want to learn how to code as a self-taught developer, and you want to get to a point where you also get to live independently and make income from your code and from being able to build projects and ideas and being able to constantly shift with the industry, then the perfect guy to learn that from is actually me, because I have actually done it. You know what I'm saying? And you see it constantly. You've seen the progression every year. You know, somebody said the other day on a comment section, it says like, damn, you know, when they asked me how much, how much we're making right now, and I told you, after taxes and expenses, I'm about $1,100 a day, right? But what was funny was that the guy goes like, oh man, you know, it's funny. He's like, damn, I got to start selling courses. And it's like, bro, it's not about the courses, because when I go in and I look at all my income, the courses is only $300 a day. You get what I'm saying? So where does the other, $800 come from? You get what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. That comes from niche websites. That comes from YouTube. That comes from, things that I'm doing on the side, selling, different products that I sell, having the Shopify applications that I have. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the courses, right? Courses is like one fourth or one fifth of my whole income. You know what I'm saying? So, going back to what I was saying, like, yo, if you really wanted to learn how to do this independently, I'm the perfect guy for that. I can't teach you how to get into Google. That's never been my goal. I don't want to work for Google. I never even tried. You know what I'm saying? I did the Facebook, and they wanted me to go in an in-person interview. We did the whole phone interview. We did the whole shebang. They wanted me to go to California for it, and I just never went. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? I don't want to move to an expensive city. I'm not moving my whole family to California, so I just didn't even call them back or answer them back. That's it. I just left it in the air. It's like, oh, that was just like a little thing that I wanted to see if I could even get to the second stage. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I could get to the second stage. You know what I'm saying? But I was never interested in that. So again, going back to what I was saying, like, if you're gonna learn from people, you gotta learn from the people that have actually done it. I don't know that everybody that's out here that you might see on YouTube or new people popping up, that they have really done what you want to achieve. You get what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, for me, for anybody, I don't care if it's whoever it is, Teletubby buddy, or you know what I'm saying, whoever it is that pops up. It's like, if you're gonna take course and you're gonna pay for a course or something, it has to be from somebody that has actually done it. I've seen people that pop up and be like, hey, I'm creating a course. I'm like, how you creating a course? You got 6 months of experience as a developer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, God bless you if you could swindle yourself into people's lives and make them trust you to buy your course. But at the same time, it's like, bro, it's like, I'm not listening to some dude. I'm not buying a course. It's like me buying a course from Chris Sean. What am I gonna shout out to my boy Chris Sean? It's hard to use him as an example, but what am I gonna learn from Chris Sean? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like programming, like, like like, he's still learning himself. It's like, that wouldn't make no sense for me to go in and be like, I'm buying a course from Chris Sean. Like, I wouldn't buy it. And I'll buy a t-shirt, buy a hat. He got a lot of cool stuff, but I gotta, if I'm buying a fucking course or some shit like that, and not to use Chris Sean, I don't even know why I use his name. I love Chris Sean anyways, but I'm not gonna fucking, I'm not gonna buy a fucking course from Lil Billy or something that I don't know if they've really done this shit. Like, have they really gotten to the point where, you know what I mean? Like, that I could be like, damn, this guy's an expert, or this guy has achieved the thing that I want to get to. Like, there's a lot of people that's gonna start creating courses, and I'm seeing it. Like, every single person, this is the new avenue. Everybody that doesn't want to work as a developer, they're just coming into YouTube, created their little YouTube videos, and then create a course. Hey, here's my simple CSS course. Boom. Hey, here's my simple JavaScript course. Boom. And it's like, it's like nobody wants to work. As you guys can see, I'm actually going the opposite way. Like, I'm actually walking away from like really creating like courses like that. Like, I already have enough courses that whoever wants to learn, you could learn a lot. But I'm not trying to be like creating courses and courses and courses. Like I'm jumping into getting back into, software as a service. That's my next challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like my first challenge was getting a job. I got a job. Second challenge was getting into big companies and getting big offers. I got those, right? Third challenge was, making enough money to quit my job. I already did that. You know what I'm saying? Fourth challenge was, hey, how can I create a platform and at the same time teach, thousands or if not hundreds of thousands of people, right, at a super affordable price. I already did that. Fifth challenge now is really software as a service. So it's like I'm instead of me going into like, hey, I'm going into YouTube to not code, I actually came to YouTube to code. And I'm actually walking away from YouTube and everything that I do to code even more. But it comes with a bag, you know what I mean? So, it's a big explanation to what the question was, but it's like you got to do your own research, bro. You gotta see from people before you buy into any course from anybody, quasi, whoever the hell it is. Like, you gotta understand, have they even really done this shit? Like, or it's just marketing? You know what I'm saying? Or dudes just like the Ty Lopez of this shit? Like, you gotta do your own research. Hello, Cutie. I feel there's temptation to join a boot camp, but you still have to work your basic low-paying job. Yeah, exactly. I don't think a boot camp is worth it. Now, there is a boot camp that I think might be worth it, and just for the name, just for the name. There's a boot camp by MIT that is in collaboration by MIT, right? And like it or not, even though it's not a degree from MIT, because MIT has such a big name, and it's actually super affordable. Like, I'm not connected to them. I'm not anything. I just saw their advertisement, I think like last night, and I was looking into their curriculum, and it's a decent curriculum, but you're really paying for that certificate. Because they really do give you a certificate that comes from MIT. And that's MIT. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter where you go and you say, hey, I have a certificate from MIT as a web developer, da da da. MIT is MIT. MIT is not Full Stack Academy, App Academy. MIT is MIT. You get what I'm saying? So wherever you go with that, that's gonna be worth it, and I think it's like $7,000, which is, to be honest, I think that's the sweet spot. I always said from the beginning, I don't believe in boot camps costing so much money that how they're putting it out there. Like Lambda's trash, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Lambda's trash. That their certificate doesn't mean anything. Most of the people that are successful from Lambda, they could have been successful without Lambda at all. And like, but this new bootcamp that I've seen, and even I myself, to be honest with you, I was like thinking about it. I was like, holy shit. I'm not gonna go back for a computer science degree, but I wouldn't mind having a MIT certificate. MIT professors teaching it. It's not just like the average, hey, we just got a guy off the street and he said he worked at Google. Now let's hire him at our boot camp. It's like, nah. It's like, this is real MIT professors that's teaching it. And I'm like, I might even take it. Shit. And I'm not even a boot camp. I don't need a boot camp. But, at the same time, I was like, shit, I might want to get that certificate. Like, that's a certificate that holds weight. Because it's the name. MIT is MIT. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of us is really going to be able to go into MIT or get MIT education, right? So that's something that I was thinking about it. And it's the sweet spot. Again, I wish I was getting paid. I'm about to hit them up like, yo, can I get an affiliate link? Because this is the only boot camp that I've seen that I will actually say, I will give my fucking, I will give my approval of that one. It's MIT. You get a real MIT certificate. It's $7,000, which is the sweet spot. That's what it's supposed to be. Any bootcamp charging more than $7,000, and I said it a long time ago. I think who was it? App Academy was charging $14,000, and I said bootcamp is supposed to be $7,000 because the type of education that you're gonna get in there is worth that $7,000 at a maximum. Anything above that is just them trying to make money off you, because at the end of the day, it's like you're learning on 3 months or something like that. But and I'm like I said, I'm not a big supporter of boot camps, but this is the only time in the 9 years that I've been in the game that I'm like, yo, that's not a bad deal. That's worth the MIT stamp on your resume alone opens doors. So just that name. And again, I wish I had an affiliate link so I could be like, hey, whoever's gonna get sign up, because people's gonna sign up to it. Especially if I'm over here talking about it. Like I'm already giving it an approval. But, you know, because it's worth it. That stamp alone, to have that on your resume, if like let's say you coming in from whatever degree you're coming from or whatever background you're coming from and your shit says MIT, right? It's gonna raise eyebrows. When people read your resume, it's gonna say, You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it doesn't matter what it is. Let me see. The other one, I can only imagine being the only one in the family with money. It's the situation with my family in the DR. I send money sometimes. You got me thinking I should stop. That's how it is, bro. Salesforce course, like I said, I don't know. I'm still debating it. I'm still debating if I should even add it, because I have to see that people are gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do the Salesforce course, but it's like, if I'm gonna do it, I need people to do it. Like, it's gonna be 3-4 months of me recording videos, planning this whole thing out, getting everything, talking to experts, guys who have worked in the industry, right? Because I don't work as a Salesforce developer. So what I do is I reach out to my friends who do work for companies who are using Salesforce. And then from there, we go back and forth and we create the curriculum. Some people think like I just come up with this shit out of my head. It's like, nah, I come up, even like Shopify. Like when I started creating Shopify, I didn't, or talking about Shopify, I didn't create the Shopify course out of like, hey, I'm gonna look at the documentation, I'm gonna record a video, and I'm gonna teach it to people. Like, nah, I go in and I reach out to people that have made money, like guys that are big time in Shopify. I talk to the guys that work at Shopify. From there, I also go in and I try Shopify myself. I spend almost a whole year with Dev Outlet. Y'all remember Dev Outlet? I use Shopify myself. Did drop shipping with devoutlet.com. Use a whole bunch of different applications. I understood the process of Shopify before I even started creating the course. So it's the same thing with Salesforce. If I'm going to go in and create that course, it has to come back with a return on investment, meaning return on investment on my time, on people actually putting in the time to do the courses, on me going out there and reaching out to all of this people that have been working with Salesforce for years. Like, for me to create this curriculum and create this whole course for you guys that is going to be current to the times, like, I have to do the research. So that's like where I'm at right now with the Salesforce. I want to add it, but at the same time, it's like I'm still going to create it. I just got to see if people do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go in and take a course that's gonna take 4 months to create and just put it in the lifetime or the yearly subscription just to put it there, and nobody's gonna do it. And maybe like 5-10 people are gonna do it. That's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? That's not worth it. So if I was to do it, it has to come back with a return on investment. It's just like anything, guys. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to go in. It's like, imagine you want to go in and create a painting, right? You create a painting that just on the materials, it costs you $10,000. And then when you go and put it out there and you say, hey guys, who likes my painting? Only 5 people show up to the gallery. You get what I'm saying? Like, if people don't understand, if the audience doesn't understand the value of that painting just on the materials alone, and only 5 people show up, what's the point of you painting it? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is. It's like, it just makes sense. Lord Guto says you had to mention my content. My country, Zimbabwe. Thanks, yo. Yo, you really from Zimbabwe, bro? Yeah, gotcha. Are you still building an agency? Yeah, yeah. So the agency, everything is already in the process of that. Like what I've been doing is I already created two Shopify applications. Again, I already have a designer that's creating the themes, meaning like all the front end work. Because this is what I'm gonna do, and that's good that you asked me about the Shopify agency. So this is my plan. My plan is to create an agency where we focus almost all of our work on things like Shopify development, meaning Shopify theme development, Shopify app development, and at the same time, we want to focus on WordPress theme development and WordPress app plugins. They call it plugins. But what I want to do is I want to have a team that's dedicated to just creating and cranking out themes and templates, right? So I'm doing that right now. I already got the designer. She's creating a whole bunch of designs. I already paid for the designs. I told her I need 20 different templates or designs for different industries. We got industries for the doctors. We got industries for lawyers. We have landscaping. We have dentists. Like a whole bunch of different themes, right? That she's creating. When she gives me that, I go in, give it to the front end guys. They work on the front end part. Then from there, I'm gonna give it to another either somebody else to do the Shopify, convert those same front end code, right? HTML, CSS, convert it into Shopify themes and convert it into WordPress themes. If by that time I don't have somebody that could really do that, I'm gonna do it myself, right? So my whole goal is to really sell all of this thing, really like sell our services, our code online in platforms like Envato, Template Monster, and do all of those things. So that could start bringing in income. At the same time, I'm also going to be running advertisement in here in Tampa, Florida, and probably Miami and Orlando. I'm gonna focus a lot on Florida because this is where I'm at. So I want to get a whole bunch of small businesses that we can go in and create custom websites for them. So that's the second stage, right? The first stage is to create the products because the products is gonna get me sales right away. The Shopify themes, I could sell them shits quick. Shopify applications, I could get people to sign up for that. So I could just create a YouTube channel to create like videos to promote my application, my themes, and all of those things, and pay also other influencers. Like there's a lot of influencers on YouTube, guys that have half a million subscribers that they talk about Shopify, and they have a whole bunch of people that do drop shipping, etc. And I could have them review my themes and review my applications for like $1,000, but that $1,000 is gonna come back like tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Because once people know about the company and they could find themes and templates on our website, they could go in there and buy the products. So again, the products is the first stage. The second stage is servicing, right? So if somebody says, "Hey, I want to create a Shopify store," we could say, "Hey, we could create the Shopify store for you and create a custom theme and create everything for you. Upload the products, put it together with Shopify Plus. We can set up your inventory management system so you can keep track of all of your products, etc. And your store is always up to date. Like we could go and set all of those things up. So that's the second stage, which is, like I said, first stage is just selling products, which is themes, templates, plugins, applications. Second stage is having the agency as a agency that where we're servicing small businesses, and then the third stage is what I want to do. But this one's gonna take probably a year from now, maybe 2 years, where at some point I want to have the agency to be a 24-hour agency, meaning I want to have people working here in the US for 6 hours People working in Europe for 6 hours, then going to Asia, Western Asia, right? We're talking about Russia or India, working another 6 hours, and then the other side of the Pacific to also have another 6 hours. So like that, it could be a 24-hour agency. So if a client comes in and says, "Hey, we want to work on and we want you to build us a store," we could have a 24-hour cycle. I've never seen that done. I think like that could really take us to the next level, because everything could be very collaborative. Like people could collaborate with each other, but at the same time, things will get done faster. So, let's say here in the U.S., people are working, I don't know, from like 12 o'clock, from not even 12 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock in in freaking Asia, right? Philippines, India is already like, when it's 8 o'clock here, 8 at night here, over there is 8 o'clock in the morning. So by having the next team come in and continue working on whatever the team that was working on this side on the first 12 hours of the day, having that other team pick up their slack and pick up whatever they're working on for the next 12 hours, then do the same thing, once it gets to like 8 o'clock over there at night, get people to work here at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's the third stage. And I've never seen that done, you know. So that's one of the things that, that's long-term goals. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not going to be right now. That I have, for me to get to there, I need to have, a steady flow of income coming in where I could hire in, in basically in all time zones. And we could do that. I think I could do that within 2 to 3 years. You know me, I got time, kid. When I set myself with a goal, like, I got time. Same way how I told you guys what I was gonna do with CodingPhase, I did it. Same thing I told my friend, hey man, in 3 years from now, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna be working on my own. I did the same shit. Same thing as now. I told you guys, like, this is where we're moving to, is like having a digital agency where we sell all of our products, and then we also service small businesses. And then at the same time, like, I'm getting my certification from Shopify for Shopify Plus certification, which basically is going to allow me to work with bigger companies, enterprise level companies that might want to transfer their businesses that's online from maybe Magento or whatever they might be doing. I could transfer it over to Shopify, and I'm certified by Shopify themselves to do that type of work. So yeah, it's a lot of work, man. But we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get it done. You know me. Once I set my mind on something, I get shit done, bro. Good day, everyone. Shout out to D Thompson. What up, bro? Let me see. Rare Breed. Good day, everyone. Joe, thanks for all the courses that you have created. Bro, a few myself. I'm an encoder with full plate. Continued success, sir. Thank you. Well, Randall React is PHP. Chris is actually a pretty good example. He definitely knows a lot, but he does have to learn still himself. He makes a great person, great advice, but focus might have a few holes. Yeah, and I'm not, using Christian was a bad example. I didn't want to use Christian. I rather use somebody that I'm friends with and say, hey, Christian, like, as an example. But I'm not saying that Christian wouldn't be able to create a course. But for me, like, the way how I visualize things is, I don't buy courses, or I don't sign up to services unless the person has done what I want to become. That's what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And using Christian was a bad example, and I apologize if Christian sees this. I apologize. I don't want to use it like that. I just use his name because that's the first name that just came up to my head. But what I'm saying is, I don't go and sign up to courses or buy stuff from people unless they've actually done what I want to become. You get what I'm saying? Like Ruan, which is, you guys know my boy. He's from Connecticut, right? He has an agency right now. He's building an amazing office. Go check out his Instagram. He just bought a new house. He just got a new office building. He has about like 15, 20 people that work for him, right? If Rowan goes in and says, hey, I'm creating a course on how to create an agency and scale it up, and it costs $500 or $1,000, you know what? I'm buying it because I want to become that. That's somebody that has achieved something that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't buy courses from people just to buy it, because anybody can create a course. But how can you teach me something? You could teach me the syntax, but you can't teach me experience because you might not have it. And that's what, when I buy courses or I pay for something, I pay for the experience. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay $100 an hour for somebody to come in and teach me how to shoot a ball. Anybody could teach me how to shoot a ball. I could go to a park and say, "Hey guys, I'll give $100 to somebody to teach me how to shoot the basketball." Right? You could do that, but the person that you really want to pay $100 an hour is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. If Jordan comes in and says, "Hey, for $1,000 an hour, I'll teach you how to play ball," I'll pay it because I want to become Michael Jordan. He has the experience. He achieved the things that I wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. Again, using Chris Sean is not a good example, but shout out to him. But yeah, let me see. Let me get my charger. My phone about to die, kids. If it disconnects, it's because it died. But give me a second, guys. My house is a mess. We're doing some construction in here. We just got this new floors in here, so the crib is a mess right now. But how you doing? Everything good? Yeah. So we're doing that right now. But it's looking good. Floor is looking good. Living room's looking good, kids. Like, that's nice. That's nice, kids. You know what I mean? What's good, kiddo? You naked? You going on the pool? We're gonna go in the pool in a little bit. Yeah, so let me see. What the hell's the charger before this phone dies? Oh my god, where's the charger? Can I make it before the phone dies? Babe, where's the charger? Where's the charger for the phone? My phone about to die, and we're on the live stream right now. Where the fuck is my charger? Can Joe make it before the phone dies? Jesus Christ. Oh, got it. Clutch. Oh, shit, can Joe make it? Put it to charge on the live stream. I don't want to end this live stream yet. We're having a really good live stream right now. We're talking about good topics today, kids. Oh, man. We made it. Let me see. All right, man. Yeah, so this is my office, by the way. And this is my buddy right here. This is what I ride, kids. Let me see if I can stop. But yeah, let me continue. Sit down right here on the floor. Let me see. Reading. Rado says, "Hi Joe, Vue.js or React for 2021? Actually learning Vue.js, but everyone won't tell me, bro. Don't learn Vue.js right now, bro. Like, Vue.js, I mean, you can learn it if you want to, but if you're trying to get a job, bro, you need to learn React, bro. Don't let the hype get you. You know what I mean? Don't let the hype get you, because there's a lot of hype behind Vue.js, but there's no jobs compared to React and Angular. Shout out to D Thompson. Yeah, man. So let me see. Let me reading through the comment section. Just someone wants me to build a Shopify homepage for them to decide whether they give me a part-time job over 3 other devs. Am I evaluating myself? There's no guarantee to get. Do it, bro. Do it. The majority of those guys, they're not gonna do it. Okay. You want to get this job, right? If you want to get this job, do it. What do you have to do? Sometimes, we gotta go the extra mile, to show that we really want it. And at the same time, by you building it, you could reuse that and literally use it for your portfolio. If they don't give you your job for it, give you a job for it, like use that as part of your portfolio. You get what I'm saying? Standard man, I'm trying to get a job outside my country because the salary here is pretty low. Well, I would say learn React and PHP. Yeah, standard man just said it. I just got the yearly membership and wanted to say thanks for the discount. Looking forward to start the email course. Yes, I would recommend it for everybody. Take the HTML email course. There's so many different jobs that will hire you just to do that. You know, it's not a sexy title. It's not what everybody's talking about, but it's where the jobs are at, and the jobs are really going to be there for you when there's not that much competition and when people are not talking about it, or it's something that they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to do Node.js. Everybody. Okay. So what does that tell you? That if everybody wants to do Node.js, there's more competition. There's more people. There's people that's coming in with experience that wants to do that. Right. And you as a junior developer that might not have the experience, you might not get those jobs, but you might go into something like C sharp, Java, something like PHP Laravel, PHP WordPress, Shopify, HTML email developer. You know what I mean? You might want to jump into something like that. And I guarantee you there's way more chances of you getting hired than you getting hired as a Node.js developer who does Vue.js on the front end. Like, like yo, I'm trying to do the Mev stack, right? Like you try to do that, that's what you're going for, you know. But I guarantee you that you won't be able to find a job. And again, I apologize to Chris Sean. I didn't want to mention him because he could, like I said, he could definitely create a great course. It's just for me, I don't. Anybody could teach me anything, right? What I pay when I go in, I pay for a course or I pay for any type of service is for the experience that they already have and they have gone through. I think Chris Sean is still in the early stages. You know, his first 3 years. Even like for me myself, like I can't imagine me teaching people or giving advice to people with 2 years, 3 years of experience because me now at 9 years in, almost 10 years, I know for sure that with 3 years of experience, I wouldn't be given the right advice or um the right training to somebody. So it's the same thing. People ask me all the time, like, "Oh, why didn't you create a YouTube channel?" Like there was an idiot that he used to get me pissed off because he was trying to say a narrative that wasn't true. He's like, man, I could look you up on Team Treehouse and Team Treehouse you posted in 2014, 2015. And I'm like, bro, I was trolling on Team Treehouse. People were assholes in there. And when people are assholes with me, I'm just gonna be an asshole back. I'm a petty type of dude. You could call me petty poppings. You know what I mean? If you petty with me, I'm gonna be petty too. Okay. So people were assholes, so then I wanted to be an asshole too. So he thinks that I started in like 2014, 2015 or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, in 2011 I was learning how to code. In 2012 I got hired. Like my first job. Like we've been doing it for so freaking long. But at the same time, people was like, yo, why didn't you create a YouTube channel back then? And I'm like, why? Because I didn't want to be telling people anything that I didn't know or I didn't have enough experience. Like nowadays, anybody, you have a week. I just started learning how to code. I'm sharing an opinion on what you guys should do. It's like, you have a week. like you giving advice. You have a week. What advice could you give somebody? You know, like you could give advice on like, hey, this is the best keyboard that I feel is comfortable for me as a junior developer. Hey, this is the best courses that I've seen so far, as a junior developer as I continue to learn. Or hey, this is what I learned from from going to interviews. Like you could share those things. But if you go in there and you have like a week of like learning how to code and you're like, well, guys, this is the best framework to find a job. It's like, bro, you don't have experience to be talking about that shit. You know what I mean? And I've seen that shit done here on YouTube like a million times. Like, there's people that do that shit all the time. And for me, like nobody could call me out on anything because the guys that have been here for years, like you look at guys like Bobby from Quarter Foundry, like you got guys like Ruan, fucking you got guys like Chris Hughes, guys that have been doing this shit for a while. Like they come in here and they appreciate what I talk about. And a lot of senior level developers, guys that work at big companies, they come in and send me DMs like, "Yo, Joe, you're talking how it is. We could tell you bring in the game. Hey, everything that you're giving is gold. Like this and that." Most of those guys don't leave no comments. They're not in the community. They just watch through here, through YouTube and that's it. But those guys, they tip their hat to me. They're like, "Yo, you know what you're talking about." There's people that pop up on YouTube, don't know what the hell they're talking about. They create a YouTube channel and be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna do some editing of work and show my face here." And it's like, "Hey guys," 6 months later, it's like, "By the way, I got a course coming out." It's like, you just started yesterday. Like, what can you teach somebody when you just started yesterday? You still don't even, it's like what they say like in the other say, "Oh, you don't even got hair down there." You know what I mean? Like you still over here a baby. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I'm trying to say. And me pointing out like Christian has nothing to do with this shit. But I'm talking about like I just named him out of nowhere. I don't know. His name just came up to my head. But there's people that just pop up out of nowhere and be like, "Yo, this is that." I'm like, bro, you don't know shit. It's like one dude that was like, he wasn't even like there was a dude like years ago that was like I don't know if he even does YouTube anymore. I haven't seen him in a long time. He's like, "Yo, if you do WordPress, WordPress is a dead end. You're gonna stay stuck there as a WordPress developer, and the most that you can make with WordPress is $60,000, and this, and that." And I'm like, you watch the dude on YouTube, and he's never worked as a developer. He just started working like a year and a half ago for the first time. And I'm like, how the fuck? How you been here for like 2 years giving advice on things that you have no idea? Like you have no idea on what you're talking about. You're not out here, bro. Like you know what I mean? That's like when people be like, "Yo, give you an advice about something in the streets." And it's like, bro, you're not in the streets. You can't tell me shit about the streets because you never been on the street. You know what I mean? Like and that's how it is, bro. But yeah, it's not to bullshit, but it's just for me, like that's why I didn't create a YouTube channel back then. I had other YouTube channels. I used to do music. I used to do like talk about relationships and how this and that. Like I used to have a YouTube channel where I talk about all type of shit. Like how I talk about sometimes I let out a couple of stories of me wilding out with girls and shit like that. Like I used to have a YouTube channel that I just talked about things like that, and I was already pretty popular. I already had like 100,000 subscribers, but I never wanted to talk about code on YouTube or programming or anything because if you don't have the experience, you shouldn't be doing it because you give advice that could really hurt people. I've seen it done a million times. Like I said, like that guy, he's like, "Yo, well, if you start WordPress, you're gonna get stuck at 60,000, or PHP is dead, or this, and that." I'm like, bro, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't give advice if you don't have experience. If you have no knowledge in that and you don't do your research, don't talk about it. You know, and sometimes it's like not to throw dudes under the bus, but shit, you know what I mean? Like even like that video where the portfolio thing is like you get what I'm saying? Like even like there's a guy telling you you can't don't do a portfolio, but he's coming from a computer science background and it's at a different higher level because you know. But if you give an advice that is like a blanket statement, the person that's watching this shit, this YouTube videos, most of the guys that have like 5, 10 years of experience, they're not on YouTube. Like out of 100, there's 100 people in here, right? Out of those 100 people, maybe 7 of them have over 3 years of experience as developers and have been working in the industry. The majority of people that's watching on YouTube are just getting into the game. So when somebody comes in and gives them an advice that's like that is not taking them into consideration, it doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. You got to know your audience to really create advice. You know what I mean? Like this times I want to tell you guys, hey guys, go learn Crystal Lang. Crystal Lang is the best programming language out there, literally. But what happens? There's no jobs for it. Why would I tell you? Because I like it. I'm gonna tell you guys go learn Crystal Lang. There's no jobs for it. You're trying to get a job. You're watching me because you're trying to get into the game. You're not here because you want to see, damn, I want to see what Joe likes, what programming language Joe likes. If you're here for that shit, you're you're wasting time. Like if you're here for to know what I like, you're wasting time. You're here to get a nugget, pick up a gem, right? To get to where you want to get to. You're not here for me. You're not here to see where Joe lives, what office Joe has, what programs Joe likes, what computer Joe has. Nah, if you're here for that, you're wasting time. Because what you're here for and what you should be here for is to be able to pick up some nuggets and pick up some gems to then apply to your life, and then you could become successful too. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up. Like you can't be giving advice if you're not really thinking of your audience, you know. And it's like the same thing for I see a lot of people that come in and be like, oh, I'm gonna create something that is trending, and yeah, it could get you a lot of sales. Like if right now I come in and I say, hey guys, I'm gonna make the killer MERN stack and the MENF stack. It's gonna be Mongo Express, Vue.js, and freaking what else? And Node.js, right? Um, People's gonna be like, oh, I'm buying it. And I'll tell you, I'll put it at $20, guys. Everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, super exciting. But the truth is, you're not gonna find a job with that shit, right? Like I'd rather come in here and not sell and give you guys what you really need. Like Shopify, the Shopify course from this audience, it didn't sell that well. People don't see the value in it. People gonna see the value when they start seeing me. Oh, Joe got the new Rolls Royce. Joe, how you got the new Rolls Royce? Damn, he must have sold a lot of courses. It's like, nah, stupid. I've been focusing on Shopify for almost a year and a half. That's where the money is coming from. Oh, Joe got his agency. Joe got this, and that. He's selling themes and templates and has applications where people are paying recurring payments. That's where the money is coming from. People see it. Once they see it, then they'll be like, damn, Joe was right. It's like, yeah, stupid. But I'd rather do that than me go in and sell some shit that's gonna be popular and it's gonna sell well, but then none of you guys is gonna get any results. Go look it up on Udemy. Most of the courses that are in the top 5, top 10 courses on Udemy, top sellers, them shits is not getting you into a job, bro. But people buy it because they're popular, they're trending, they're this and that. They don't do their own research. And I blame the instructors the most because just because somebody thinks that something is what they need, you as a senior level developer or an experienced developer, you should know what people need and what's gonna get them into a job. So you should offer them what they need to get a job so they could get results. Because you see why people come to codingphase.com. There's people at codingphase.com that's been with me for like 3 years. The whole 3 years they've been with me, right? There's people that come in and out, right? But it's about a good solid, 3,000 people That they've been here the whole 3 years that I had CodingPhase.com. They came in, they freaking learned how to code. After learning how to code, they got their job. After getting their job, they started learning how to make income online. Then from there, I continued creating more advanced courses, which also helps them on their first year, on the second year, on the third year, right? They stick around because I take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that's creating courses, I see it as I'm gonna sell them what they want me to sell them. But is that really the best choice for the people? You should be creating courses that's gonna be beneficial for them for their journey, not what's gonna sell. If you wanna have, if you want to have them for long term, right, and have a customer that's happy with you and that's going to be like, damn, Joe took care of me when they get their jobs, instead of having a bullshit project on your portfolio. Once they go into the companies, be like, damn, like I've gotten so many emails of like people that come in and like they'll be like, thank you, Joe, everything that you show me is exactly what I'm doing at my job. And I'm like, yep, that's the point of CodingPhase.com. That's what I wanted to do. So you could have like it's like a simulation of what the real job is gonna be, the type of projects that we're building. But there's times that people go in from other places, other instructors and other courses, and they come and they're like, damn, I took this course, I took this course, I took this course. None of the things that they told me is what I do now. Yeah, because they sold you what you wanted to buy. They didn't sell you what you needed. That's a big difference, and that all comes with experience, man. And I think it's an instructor's responsibility to really, give their students like the thing that they need, not the thing that they want to buy, but the thing that they need. Da, da, da. Let me see. I'm reading. Hey Joe, what are your most popular courses that people have completed? My most popular courses is probably, we will say, the HTML email, the Shopify course, but not from this community. Because the Shopify courses, I have people that come from Facebook groups, from like the Shopify communities in there, like Facebook groups that talk about drop shipping and things like that. Like that Shopify course changed the game for me. You know, like I was saying earlier, like it's funny that a lot of people here don't really take advantage because they just don't know. They don't know any better. They don't know that this is where the money is at. The guys that do know, like guys that are into drop shipping, guys that have their own agencies, and they want to go in and train their employees, they just buy the course and give it to their employees. Like, hey man, take this course. And they get the money right back because they get to start building things that's going to generate income for them. But that Shopify course, that first month, we made 100K off that. 100K off just for the Shopify course. That's the most I ever made in my life. And even with the courses and anything. And it's because we had about so many people, I don't even know, probably like 200 people, 2,000 people, like 1,800 people that just bought. Even on the first, y'all remember the first week when I put it in and I was like, yo, we're gonna sell the whole thing of Shopify. What I did was I promoted on Facebook groups that was about drop shipping and e-commerce, digital agencies, and they came in, they bought the course, they all bought the bundles at the full price, which is like $500. When you guys get the specials, y'all get the specials at 50% off and things like that. When I go and promote it to those communities, because they really know, they're used to paying $1,000, $2,000 for courses, and I'm giving them a full training for 500. And people went in and bought the shit out of that. That's my top selling course of all time. The HTML email developer is second. Uh, from there, we will say the HTML CSS course. That's another one. and then we could say the subscription, monthly subscription, right? But the thing is that the monthly subscription has all the courses in it, so it's hard to calculate that. But definitely the monthly subscription, and then from there the yearly plus, and last will be like the lifetime. Not that many people have bought the lifetime, and I'm glad that not many people buy it, because I actually lose money when people buy the lifetime membership. Hit your word the requirements to be one of your developers for your agency currently unemployed. Well, for me right now, to be honest with you, like number one is somebody that has experience. Like I can't. We're such early stages right now. We're at such early stage that I can't take a risk on hiring anybody that I can't see their work, and that they could hit the ground running without me being on top of them, because we're gonna be remote, and at the same time, like I don't have the time to train anybody. So having experience that you have done this before remotely is number one thing for me. And the second thing is um, understanding that this is the early stages, meaning that you're going to get paid depending on how much work you put in. Like, if you want to go in and say, hey, I just want to be a salary, I'll treat you like a salary worker, right? Like, for example, if we are able to make $100,000 in 1 month, I'll give you, even though I'm supposed to pay you, let's say $6,000, $7,000 that month, because I know the type of work that you put in, I'll pay you 10, I'll pay you 12. But if you tell me like, yeah, I just want to get my salary, I'd rather get $7,000, $8,000 a month flat fee, then yeah, I'm gonna tell you, okay, cool, this is what you're getting, right? And you're not getting anything. You're getting treated like an employee, which is what I give the options to people. It's like one of the guys that I'm working with right now. I told him straight up, I was like, listen, man, I could go ahead and give you right now 6,000, right? And you get a flat fee. That's your salary. That's what you're getting, 6,000. Now you could take 4,000 now, and as income comes in, I'm sharing the profits that is coming in with you. So I'm paying you, plus I'm also sharing profit. Now I could pay you more as an employee, but you're not a partner. You're not seeing whatever the benefits come out of this thing. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm really looking into. When I ask people, it's like, are you here? Do you understand like the vision that we're trying to do? You get what I'm saying? Like, because this agency is just starting. I'm doing all the work. I'm putting all the shit. I'm putting all the money. I'm paying for all those things. But if you help me out by alleviating my expenses, so I could use, instead of, for example, like I'll give you an example, like I'm super real with you, right? Like, let's say I have 3 employees, and each one of them I gotta pay them $6,000, $7,000, right? Now, if you say, hey, Joe, I'll work with you, and instead of you paying me 6,000, 7,000, pay me 4,000, right? I could use that extra income that I was gonna pay you, and I could use it to pay advertisement. I could use it to pay for influencers to share our product. So then, when the income comes in from those products and those things that we are creating, I'll give you a cut of the income that's coming in. Now, if I come in and I say I'm gonna pay you, or you say to me like, "Hey, Joe, I just want to get my pay," it is what it is. I'll give you your pay, but when you start seeing that, hey, we're generating 100,000, we're generating $80,000 in a month, don't expect that you're getting any bonus or anything. You're just getting paid by the hour. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that to me is key right now. If somebody can understand that, because I'm super open with everybody. I give it. I give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm honest with them and say, hey man, we're starting this thing from scratch. You're in a great position, right? Right now, if you're working from home, you're remotely, at $4,000, 5,000, 6,000, whatever we come up with, I think that's great. You're making enough money to live, but then at the same time, you're also gonna make money in the long term. If you don't care about the long term, that's great. If you care about it, I'm gonna take care of you. If you don't care about it, cool. You know what I mean? Don't expect anything later on. Because also too, sometimes people they get entitled. They feel like, oh, I was here from the beginning because I've seen this done before in agencies. I've worked in other agencies and I've seen how it's been for the owners, where the employees they feel like, oh, I was here from day one, and the agency has grown, and I haven't seen my pay grow as much as the owner, and it's like, bro, the owner took the risk. You took no risk. You did no investment. How can you get paid when you did no risk and you did no investment? You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Uh, Link looping third says Christian got you shook. Let me find out he got my tots. No, it's just I feel bad because I shouldn't bring up his name. It's not. It just came up to my head, Chris Sean, but it's not like I wanted to use him as an example. That's my boy. I'm just saying like what I said already, which is like, hey, if I'm buying something for somebody, it has to be somebody that has achieved what I want to achieve. Everything that Chris Sean has achieved, I already did that shit a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna learn from somebody, I gotta go and shit. I want to learn from somebody. Because it's money, bro. Like if you invest money in something, you gotta get your investment back. You know what I mean? So if I invest into something, it has to be something that I want to achieve to, like, or something that somebody hasn't done that I'm like, damn, I've never done that. I never got to that point. How can I learn from that person? But I say, let me see. Silverblade, the world's not ready yet. Joe, what's the web dev project for the over 50s, please? Wait, what is the web dev job prospect for over 50, please? Your thoughts on that? Hey, if you're over 50 years old, you can still get a job, bro. All you have to do is have the experience and the skills, okay? That's just how it is. My advice is also too, like sometimes you don't have to go the traditional way of like, hey, I gotta work for a big company and this and that. Work for a small company, build your experience in there, get your income, invest into yourself, maybe create your own company. Sometimes that's the best way to go. you know Troy Mitchell says, I keep searching for the right direction. It's about as clear as mud sometimes. People that haven't actually used something professionally in their courses aren't as good. They can't be. Yeah. Jamessa says, Mr. Petty Poppins. Yep. Keisha's in here like, yo, I'm just laughing. Joe Walling already. Kevin Emmons says, can't hate on them though. They're getting the money teaching you the documentation. Yeah, I'm not. That's what I said. I'm not hating. I think it's great. Shit, get your money. Do what you got to do. Um, but me, I have a heart, bro. I have a heart. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. I can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna teach the documentation and get paid off that. It's like, nah, bro. I gotta make sure that you guys are successful. Like, because the way how I look at it is like this: like some of you guys are taking a course, right? From me at CodingPhase.com, and you might say, "Damn, I want to take the courses from Joe, but I only got $20 in my pocket. I got a 50% off, and I could pay $10 for this month." So I take that into consideration and say, you know what? This person is doing a sacrifice. Same thing as somebody comes in and signs up for a yearly plus membership. By the way, if you don't know, this a link in the description, 50% off on everything. Um, but when somebody comes in and signs up, I take that into consideration and say, you know what? What if this person only had $400 in their pocket, and out of their own money, they say, you know what, I'm gonna take $200 and I'm gonna invest half of it. Like that happens, because that happened to me when I was learning, not learning how to code, but in early stages of me learning how to code, I was also doing affiliate marketing. And the first time I ever bought a course was for $700, and my credit card was of $700. So pretty much I went on zero. My credit card went to zero, me buying that course. But the course was so good, it was really worth it, and it really changed my life. Now, I think about situations like that. Most people are in situations like that too, where they're taking a risk. So if they're taking a risk and buying something, like, you want to give them the best that you can, and not just offer them like what they think they want, but what you know for sure they want, because and what they need, because you've been through it and you know how the industry is. Like, I don't look at creating courses and codingphase.com as a business where I'm just trying to crank out like the product to sell, and like, I gotta crank out another product to sell, another product to sell. Like, nah, I gotta crank out the things that's gonna get results for people. So that's how I look at it. I don't believe it. Look at the camera and say it. I don't know what you want me to say, bro. Sometimes when I look at, like, off the cameras, because I'm looking at other shit, or sometimes I'm like, when I look off the camera, I don't know if you guys have seen that. Like, when I'm talking and I go like this, like, I'm like talking, and I'm like talking about something. When I do that, I'm literally picturing it, like, exactly what I'm talking about. It's not because I'm like, oh, I don't want to look at the camera. It's like, nah, it's like right now I'm looking at the camera at my phone, and I'm seeing my face. It's like, why would I want to see my face when I'm talking about a topic that I'm picturing exactly what I'm talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm looking this way, but it's like in my mind I'm picturing exactly what I'm talking about. So that's why I do that. Let's see, real. What haven't you created a Laravel course, Joe? There is a Laravel course. It's called PHP 7 with Laravel. You know what I mean? Luis aquí en el diablo, manín. I'm about to ask my lady to give me your course as a Christmas gift. No bulto. Yeah. Give yourself that gift. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta give yourself something good for you. Mom? Look at
Mom, Mom.
You guys going out?
Sorry, Jason.
Well, you guys fought?
He bit his finger.
You bit his finger? Who bit? Whose finger?
Sorry, Jason. I never did that again.
Okay, no more biting. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Give a hug in the kiss. Hug. Yay. Yeah, nice.
Oh,
No, they don't want to go out. They want to wait for you.
Oh, you guys are gonna wait for me? Okay, so go outside. Then we're gonna. Oh, what? The Gigita too?
No, I mean,
Or you
I've
want me to?
been wanting to take them for a walk, but they don't want to come with me.
You don't want to go with mommy?
no.
You want daddy?
David, just look up.
Okay, so I'll take you guys out, and then
You're gonna stay
we'll
here?
get in the pool for a little bit.
Come on.
Mommy, we go, me and Daddy got swing. We got swing.
So go over there. Let me finish the live stream with my people.
No, babe.
Well, you've been already on it. If you're thinking like you were.
Hey.
How you say? What's daddy's company?
Coldfake.com. Daddy, this whole
All right, guys. Go over there. Let me do my conclusion for my peoples. These kids are the best, right? Oh my god. Yeah, it's funny, yo. Hey, you can get on it too. Yeah, there you go. Okay, guys. So listen, man. Um, like I said, man, I'm just grinding out here. You know, this is what we do it for. We do it for the kids, for the family. You know, them kids driving her crazy. Yeah, man. CodingPhase.com. So at the end of the day, man, I just try to support you guys and continue doing what I have to do. At the same time, when you support me, you support, what I also do out here and provide for people, provide for my family. And I try to do everything like I said. I put myself in your situation, your position. So everything that I'm giving you guys is for a reason. Take advantage of it. You know, I'm not over here trying to swindle people. It's like, hey man, it's like, let me sell them the shit that they want so they could fucking pay me. It's like, nah, bro, I need you guys to get successful and get to where you need to get to, bro. So at the end, the long term, you'll stick around. Like, there's no point of me having you come in for like a month and be like, oh, I don't like this shit. I want you to stick around and at the same time enjoy what you're doing here. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, guys, if you want to check out the 50% off, check the description. It's right there. I'm going to be dropping a new tutorial for those of you guys that want to see this. I actually created, let me show you this real quick before I leave. This is the next video that we're dropping today. We actually created the, how you call this, the PlayStation UI. So for those of you guys that want to try this out and create the PlayStation UI, you could come in and do that with me. Let me see, I show you. And we're actually using Next.js, and we're also using React and HTML, CSS. Okay, so definitely check it out. Okay, so it's actually pretty damn cool. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. And yeah, so it's actually the PlayStation 5 UI. So that's gonna be a cool tutorial for you guys. Shout out to the peoples. Y'all know, y'all know what this is, right? If you're Dominican, you know what this is, bro. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing the PlayStation 5 UI with Next.js, React, HTML, CSS. So it's gonna be a free tutorial for those of you guys that want to try it out to build it. And y'all can build it here with me at CodingPhase. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the video later on today, so definitely go check that out. And yeah, I just wanted to come in here, hang out with you guys on this live stream. Yeah, when is this gonna drop? Today's gonna drop. We're gonna be building this. Okay, it's actually the it's actually the freaking PlayStation 5 UI. Like, we literally built it. Okay, the exact same thing. Okay, let me see if I could have it here. Where is it? This is how it looks. Okay, that's the PlayStation 5 UI. Straight screenshot from my TV, and then this is how we made it. The exact same thing. Okay, and it also has the scrollable right here. So it's actually pretty cool. Tengo un billete de eso. Yep. Hey, by the way, I'm starting for those of you guys that don't know, I'm starting a YouTube channel completely in Spanish. So if you want to check that out, I'm gonna put in the description later on. I'm gonna do a video for the first time. It's gonna be somewhere today too. I'm gonna do a complete YouTube channel just in Spanish. Be like, yo, ¿qué lo que? ¿Tú sabes qué lo que? Tu manito Joel Andrea otra vez, CodingPhase. Estamos aquí. We doing. Now, I just gotta get my Dominican swag in there. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna talk. It's like, ¿qué lo que? ¿Qué lo que? ¿Qué lo que? Estamos aquí, Joel Andrea otra vez, CodingPhase en español. CodingPhase Cotorra. You know what I mean? Like, call that. I don't know what should I. Can somebody put here below? Like, what should I call my Spanish channel? Should I call it CodingPhase in español? CodingPhase E, CodingPhase Cotorra, CodingPhase desarrollo CodingPhase. Let me know what you guys think. What should be my Spanish channel name? What should I do that? Let me know. Email me if you got more questions, guys. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later. Take care, man. CodingPhase, La Bambara, CodingPhase. Oh man, I'm gonna see you guys later, man. Take care, guys.